Alright, so this is a 3 episode review because I just noticed that the previous video I uploaded did not have any audio because the microphone that I have has this little knob for the volume that I apparently did not change. And I want to say it's that because if I'm recording this now and it has no more audio again, I'm going to have to figure out why this microphone doesn't work. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about 3 episodes. We're going to talk about the end of the world. We're going to talk about the third episode, which is the Unquiet Dead. And then third episode would be Aliens in London. So 3 reviews. It's going to be pretty short. So here's what I have to say. So for the second episode of Doctor Who, Ninth Doctor, season 1, episode 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably like a 7. It's a pretty good episode. I would not skip it. The Doctor and Rose first time travel forward in time. They go to when the Earth is going to get destroyed by some solar expansion blast type of thing, right? So it starts with them getting to that ship, and Rose gets out of the TARDIS. She's amazed at the future and everything, meets a bunch of new aliens. She's in shock. She's just realizing that, she's traveling with this guy she doesn't know, and ends up calling her mom through a cell phone that somehow talks to her, like, through time, which is a little, it's one of those Doctor Who things that you shouldn't really pay too much attention to. Anyway, the whole episode is pretty much about money. The last human in space, Cassandra, is some racist piece of I don't know what. I'm not exactly what she is, but she's like a tissue or something, a piece of flesh that can talk, and she plotted that she's gonna kill everybody that's there because they're all like super wealthy, and she has like shares on their companies and stuff like that. I think I don't know, like it is what it is. It's not an amazing story, but you get to see a lot of aliens. You get to see the Doctor in action. Rose is in danger. Shit happens. It's a pretty busy episode. Some characters burn. Trees cannot handle the heat. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Why was that needed? I do not know. Was the Doctor gonna, bang some tree lady? She might have. He might have. Who knows? But, it's a good episode. I liked it. Again, my score was a 7 out of 10. And now we're going to move on to episode 3 of the first season. So, this is the Unquiet Dead. The Unquiet Dead is the first travel through time to the past, which is when Charles Dickens was around. Now, in this episode, the TARDIS shows up, and the Doctor makes a point to Rose that she needs to change because otherwise she's going to look strange to the people. And it's a pretty awesome thing to see, even though I don't think it's ever talked about in future episodes. It is pretty cool that they were like, hey, like, you gotta change your wardrobe. So she, like, Billie Piper looks amazing, whatever she wears. They get out, she's amazed at what she's looking at. There's a ruckus because some ghost is inside this person's corpse in a Charles Dickens play or play reading. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm an uncultured swine, so I'm not sure what they're doing. But the whole episode is pretty. It's a very Halloweeny, and I'm recording this 2 days before Halloween, so it kind of fits. It's just some aliens taking over dead people's bodies, and they're trying to get to like where they're from or whatever. Some rift shit. I don't know. The doctor, with the help of a medium, channel these aliens who end up betraying them, and they kind of all just get blown up. Not a lot to say about this episode. It's a good episode. Like, I wouldn't skip it. It's like a 6, but it's totally watchable. And you see Eve Miles in this episode, who later on comes out in Torchwood as a lead. So there you go. So you get Eve Miles as whatever role she plays in Torchwood, because I've only seen Miracle Day for Torchwood. I'll eventually see the other seasons. I tried it once, but didn't like it. But I think Russell T Davies writes it, so I'll probably give it another shot. And then you get Peter Capaldi and Karen Gillan, who in future episodes come out, and then later on have a bigger role in Doctor Who. So, you never know what might happen. You also have Spider-Man and that Manhattan episode, like the New York one. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So at the 6, it's pretty good, just not their best. Now, moving on to Aliens in London, which I think is the name of the episode, is probably the best one so far. You get a spaceship crashing into London, hitting Big Ben, and what would happen in the scenario, and how British Prime Minister would handle things. Anyway, it's all a ruse. The aliens were already there, and the Doctor has to, figure out what happened. Now, the plot of the episode is not really what drives it. I think this is where they focus a lot more in the relationship between the Doctor and Rose, and the Doctor and the human race. So obviously, the Doctor has traveled so much in time and has helped the humans survive plenty of things. So there are people that are obsessed with him. And then you see Unit, the first appearance of Unit in this episode, because they're the experts with things regarding aliens and the Doctor, of course. Anyway, back to the relationship part. So you see how Rose kind of starts to struggle, and how her time travels affects her relationship with her mom, and obviously her relationship with Mickey, who all thought murdered her because the Doctor traveled in time. He thought it was like 12 hours, but it turns out they were gone for a year, and nobody knew where Rose was. And that's all pretty cool. The Doctor gets slapped. It's a pretty funny scene. But it touches more on the relationship between all the main characters in this season, which I think was pretty cool. We see the first appearance of the Slitheen, which are those weird aliens that fart inside the humans' bodies. So this is also a non-skip, and it's a two-parter. And I have not seen the next episode, which I will probably end up watching tomorrow because I'm already tired. But it's pretty good. I kind of want to grade it once I see the second part, but I'll say it's probably an 8. Like, this season has a lot of man, maybe I'm giving these ratings like too high, like, because like the empty child, or what's it called, are you my mommy, that episode, that's like a solid 10. But you know I don't know. Anyway, this is how I'm gonna end it. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening.